I grew up in a small village in Ubama. We did not have street lights. At night, the moon was our ball and the crickets were our music. Whenever there was a power outage, which was often, my grandmother would gather us outside and tell us stories. This is one of the stories she told me. She said it was true. And after what happened years later, I believed her. There was once a man named Okoro. Okoro was not poor. In fact, he was one of the richest farmers in the village. His barns were always full of yam. His goats were fat. His palm wine never finished. But Okoro had one serious problem. He was wicked. Not the loud kind of wicked. Not the kind that fights in the market. His wickedness was quiet, hidden, dangerous. If someone asked him for help, he would smile and promise to come, but he never did. If a widow come to beg for food, he would give her rotten cassava and laugh after she left. If children passed by his farm, he would accuse them of stealing, even when they did nothing. He enjoyed seeing people struggle. The villagers tolerated him because he was wealthy. And in our village, wealth often covers character. But there was one person Okoro hated the most. His younger brother, Emeka. Emeka was everything Okoro was not. He was kind, gentle. He shared what little he had. Even when his harvest was small, he would still give neighbors food. People respected Emeka more than Okoro, and that angered him. One year, the rain refused to fall. Crops began to die. The river became thin like a rope. Hunger slowly entered the village like a silent thief. But Okoro's farm remained green. His crop flourished as if heaven favored him alone. People started whispering, "How is this farm still fresh? Is he using medicine? Is there something we don't know?" Emeka did not join the gossip. Instead, he went to Okoro one evening. "Brother," he said gently, "the village is suffering. Please, let us share your harvest so people will not die." Okoro laughed. "Did they help me plant? Did they help me weed? Hunger will teach them hard work." Emeka's eyes were heavy with sadness. "Wickedness has a price, brother." Okoro waved him away. That night, something strange happened. Around midnight, Okoro heard a knock on his door. Knock, knock, knock. It was slow, heavy, like the sound of wood hitting wood. Okoro was annoyed. Who would disturb him at such an hour? He grabbed his lantern and opened the door. Nobody was there, but the air felt different. Cold, thick. He stepped outside and saw something at the edge of his farm. A tall shadow, too tall to be a man, too tall to be an animal. Okoro shouted, "Who is there?" No answer. The shadow slowly moved into his farm. The next morning, Okoro rushed outside. His green crops were black, every single one, dry, dead, as if fire had passed without smoke. He screamed. He ran to check his barn. Empty. the yam he harvested the week before we are gone, the goats missing. There were no footprints, no broken fence, nothing, just emptiness. The villagers gathered. Some pitied him, others were silent. Emeka came forward. "Brother," he said quietly, "what happened?" Okoro's pride was broken. His voice shook. "I don't know." That night, the knock came again. Okoro did not open, but he heard a whisper through the door. "The price must be paid." His heart almost stopped. Days passed. Hunger entered his own house. For the first time in his life, Okoro had nothing. He went to the same widow he once insulted. "Please," he begged, "give me food." The widow looked at him for a long time. Then she said, "When my children were hungry, you laughed." Okoro felt shame burn his throat. He went to his elders. They shook their heads. Finally, he went to Emeka. He knelt down. "Forgive me." Emeka did not hesitate. He lifted him up. "You are my brother." He shared his last bag of garri. That night, the knock did not come, but the story did not end there. One evening, the oldest man in the village called Okoro aside. "There are forces in this land," the old man said. "They watch, they wait. When a man's wickedness becomes heavy, the earth collects its debt." Okoro's loss was not ordinarily theft. It was payment. From that day, Okoro changed. He worked for others. He gave freely. When people were sick, he helped. When widows cried, he listened. Years later, his farm became fruitful again, but he was no longer proud. Whenever someone asked him why he changed, he would say only one thing: "I learned that wickedness is a loan, and one day it will be collected with interest." My grandmother ended the story with this warning: "Do not think you escape because no one sees you. The night sees, the earth hears, and wickedness always sends a bill." I used to think it was just a story until the year a greedy landlord in our town treated his tenants badly, throwing families out, increasing rent during hard times. One night, his entire storehouse burned down. No fire spread to any other building. No one knew how it started. And when people gathered the next morning, an old woman simply said the price was due. Wickedness may look powerful today. For a season, it may even seem to prosper, but it never escapes payment. Kindness is slow, but it builds. Wickedness is quick, but it destroys. And in the end, everyone pays for the seed they plant. Thank you for listening. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notification bell so whenever I post, you will get notified. Thank you. See you in my next video.